live here on the Zoom. My name is Britton Scheibe. I am from San Diego. If you guys can do me a favor, we're going to take probably the next 20 to 30 minutes. You guys can participate by asking questions in the chat. You can just listen like a fly on the wall if you want. We really like this to be somewhat interactive. So if you can are available to turn on your cameras, we would love for you guys to do that. Just makes it so we can see all your faces. We got a lot of people popping on. This is awesome. So tonight what we're going to talk about is ketones and how ketones can be used specifically geared towards men. Obviously, there's a lot of men, there's a lot of women on this call. So just because you're a woman, you may have a guy in your life that you want to get information on ketones. And you know, this is something that's for everybody, but tonight we're going to kind of focus specifically on how men can use and share this product. So like I said, we're going to try to keep this tight. We really appreciate your time. We know your time is valuable. So first of all, I'd like for you guys to put in the chat box where you're from. If you're brand new to drinking ketones, if you've been drinking ketones for a while, I'd like to kind of get a feel for who we've got in here. I see some familiar faces and some not so familiar faces, but we're super happy that you guys are here. We got Pennsylvania, we've got Vegas, we've got Oregon, 4 years, 1 year, Sacramento, 7 months, San Diego. All right, I'm in San Diego too. Awesome. We've got lots and lots of different ranges of experience here. So just a little bit of my background. So my wife, Jody, who's also on this Zoom, is we've been drinking and sharing ketones for coming up on 5 years now next month. So we're coming up on our 5-year anniversary. And truthfully, ketones have been just a total game changer for us. For myself personally, I watched my wife go through some shifts in her mood and her energy. And I thought, I don't know what you're drinking, but whatever it is, I've got to get me some of that because you're way nicer, you're way more patient. And plus, she told me I could lose some fat if I did it. And I was willing to sign up for that. At the point where I started drinking ketones, I was at the heaviest I'd ever been in my life. And I knew I had to do something to make a change. So I said, look, I'll drink your powder for 30 days. I'm not going to start exercising differently, and I'm not going to start dieting, but I'm just going to incorporate this into my life on a day-to-day basis and see where it takes me. Well, after 30 days, I was down 8 pounds. After 3 months, I was down 30 pounds. And to me, you know, it just got better from there because it's not just about fat loss. I know a lot of you guys might be interested in the benefit of fat loss. But for me, I really love the energy that I have and the focus that I have. Some other background on me, I'm a former professional baseball player. I have been like very active in athletics almost my entire life. So I've always been interested in the performance aspect of drinking ketones. And that's something that I'm going to touch on in a little bit. But basically, for those of you who are brand new, some of the benefits that you can expect when drinking ketones: better energy, better mood, better focus, better sleep, fat loss, muscle preservation. So for you guys who've never tried ketones before, think of ketones as it's a fourth macronutrient. It's the way our bodies were designed to run. When we were all born in ketosis. But running around in 2022, I mean, listen, unless you're doing a very strict keto diet, which is, you know, high fat, moderate protein, and very low carbohydrates and sugar, your body is not going to start producing ketones with the diet that we have these days. Or if you stop eating for 2 or 3 days, your body will also start producing ketones. And listen, when you have ketones in your blood, that's where the magic happens. That's when you feel more focused. You feel more energy. You don't crave the sugar and carbohydrates like you used to. Your appetite is curbed. Ketones are not a magic pill. You can't just crush a pepperoni pizza, drink your ketones, and all of a sudden that pepperoni pizza is gone. I wish it was like that. It doesn't work like that. Ketones are a tool. It's the best tool you can possibly have to achieve all of your health goals. We're going to hear some amazing stories tonight for some people who've been drinking ketones for a little while, and they are going to share with you just kind of some of their journey. If you guys have questions, please put them in the chat. We'll try to get somebody to answer them. We're just that you're a bit more about how ketones were developed. So ketones have been around for since about 2015 for public consumption. Okay, Prove It was the very first company to bring ketones to the market. We have lots of patents which patent protect our products. So any other ketones you've ever seen in the market, ours are totally different. Ours are bioidentical to what your body would produce. And truthfully, they're just going to work better. And all you have to do is be able to mix them in water, drink them down, and you're going to be in ketosis. It works for everybody all the time. But the original patent was kind of developed way back even before Prove It started in 2015, developed by the Department of Defense for the benefit of Navy SEALs. So these SEALs were doing dives and they were having problems with seizures. And so what the Department of Defense did is they funded the top researcher on the ketogenic diet, Dr. Dominic D'Agostino. They gave him a grant to develop ketones in a palatable form that we now have today. But prior to us being able to get our hands on it, it was consumed by astronauts. It was consumed by the Navy SEALs. So, I mean, if it's good enough for the SEALs and it's good enough for the astronauts, it's definitely good enough for me. We have dozens of great flavors, and it is amazing how far we've come in the last 7 years. And like I said, we've only been doing this for only 6.5. So the majority of the time, but just how far we've come from then to now is amazing. I love what our company is doing. We lead with education. There's so many tools and resources available. And as more and more published studies come out, you're going to see more and more things come up about ketones and just how beneficial they are for everybody. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We're going to go ahead and start by doing a couple shares for some of my friends who've been drinking ketones for a little bit. First of all, we're going to go to Asim Malik. I can see him up there. You're actually right below my picture. What's up, buddy? So if you want to come off mute, tell us what ketones have done for you physically.
What's going on? How you guys doing? So my name's Asim, like Britton just said. I'm 32 years old. I live in Levittown, Pennsylvania, and I'm a server at the King George Inn. If you guys know where it's at, the Delaware River, come visit me. But I've been drinking ketones for the better part of 4.5 years. And let's just say at the least, it's made a giant difference. I got introduced to them reluctantly, believe it or not, by a friend of mine when I went back to MMA training some years ago. I had never been a supplement person. I spent my entire life, like Britton was saying about himself, doing sports. I've been doing MMA since I was 4, swimming, soccer, went to school for sciences. I thought I knew how the brain and the body worked, the whole shebang. And yet at 28 years old, I found myself at 275 pounds. I was coming home for an hour at a time in between serving shifts to take naps. And I was just tired. Like I still didn't even get like the nap that I needed to be recharged for the night, uncomfortable in my clothes. And when my buddy came to me for like the 4th time after 2 months, he had a whole tub and he's like, here, just drink this. They didn't like the flavor. And I was like, all right, like I'll drink it. 100% sure that it wasn't going to work, by the way, like 100% sure. And a week and a half later, like the focus was on. I just felt this like really cool feeling, just having all the energy that I needed for the day. And then 6 months later, I was down 80 pounds. Like I had released 80 pounds of fat. I was, instead of going and taking a nap, I was going to the gym in the middle of the day, coming back. And I didn't realize until later, I was like, wow, this is really different than like what's been going on. So the cool thing was really the look my mom gave me. Like she just said, I'm really proud of you. And I was like, whoa, like that was irreplaceable. That was really cool. I'm really excited though about the science behind like what it does for the brain. That's like, I'm a huge nerd. I went to school for neuroscience, and having a grandmother who had dementia and Alzheimer's before she passed away, and my dad who had a stroke a few years ago, seeing what it does for him and light his brain up. It's like I got my dad back when he drinks them, and it's a really, really cool thing to see. So that's really what it's done for me. Back to you, Britton.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm really glad you touched on the brain aspects of it. I have a very similar story. I have my father who had dementia. My grandfather had Alzheimer's. And so just the neuroprotective function of ketones, listen, as we age, especially as men, your brain does not uptake glucose as easily as it did when we're younger, which is why we start having brain fog, which is why you walk into a room and you forget why you went in the first place. So ketones will uptake every single time. Your blood-brain barrier does not block ketones. So it doesn't matter if you're 45 or 85, ketones are going to uptake into your brain, and you're going to get that energy. You're going to get that focus. You're going to get those benefits that I know so many of us men are looking for. Listen, I thought at 45 years old, I'm 50 years old, by the way. So, I mean, like I feel better at 50 years old than I felt when I was probably 35 years old. I feel like I'm aging backwards. And I love the fact that ketones, you know what, it's not going to make you get younger. It's not a time machine, but it certainly can make you feel like that. And so I really appreciate that, Asim, that just mentioning the brain health parts of that. It's really, really amazing. I know some of you guys may be thinking about, listen, I want to get ketones because I want to drop some weight. My next guest speaker, who is a great friend of ours, has an unbelievable weight loss story. And I want to bring him on right now. Greg, if you want to unmute yourself, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen of a couple of your before and afters as you're sharing, because I think your story is super powerful. So welcome, Greg.
Awesome, guys. How you guys all doing tonight? So I'm Greg from California here. I'm in Southern California, a little town called Phelan. It's up by Victorville, about 20 miles. Oh, my gosh. Oh. You scared me. I thought I lost connection. And so I'm out here by Phelan, California. It's a little town. So I was a big guy. I started my weight at 500 pounds. Was the heaviest I hit. And I did little things here and there, and I got down to over the years, and I finally got down to I think 439. And my son, 2 years ago, we were in the kitchen, and he said, "Hey, Dad, let's lose some weight." And I'm like, "All right, what do we do?" And I'm like, I don't know anything. I've never really done it. I knew I was a big guy. I've always tried things. And so I just started eating low carbs and things like that. And the weight started coming down, and I got down to 350, around 350 I got down to. I'm just dieting. The keto diet, I guess, is what I end up doing. And I stuck with it pretty strict, and I got down to that. And I started getting to be where at 350 I could move and stuff. And because, I was a guy that was basically, I came home, I sat on the couch, and if I had to go to the bathroom, I held it as long as I possibly could because it was just tough to push myself up off the couch. That's to the point where I got. So I started walking. I went to the high school and I started walking. I would do a mile, and I got on these Zoom and stuff like that. And I finally found ketones, and I was just searching the internet, and I figured, you know what, I can invest my money on gambling and things like that. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and, put a couple $100 into this. I bought the 3-pack bundle. It was a 3-pack bundle at the time. I think we still have the brand builders. And I bought it. And I started drinking them once a day, and next thing you know it, the scale started moving, and I started feeling better, and I slept better. And that was the first thing I noticed, was the biggest feeling was the sleep. And then it just kept moving. I was like, wow. And I ended up going 2 days, and just the weight started. And next thing you know it, I was pushing the 300 mark. And I had a life tragedy happen, and I got into CrossFit. And I started doing CrossFit, and it just kept going. So today I'm right around the 260, 270. I fluctuate now. And I went from a 58 pants to a 38 pants. And I wear, depending on the cut, it's a 2X or a 1X, and I was in a 6 to 7X shirt. And I try to do CrossFit 3 times a week, but I am a busy guy. I do work for In-N-Out Burger, so I handle actually 7 states, all the facilities in maintenance. So I'm on a plane, and I travel a lot to that. And, that's my story. And, the biggest thing I think for the whole thing, and people that have never drank it, you have to give it a chance. You can buy a 10-day challenge, which is great. It's a great way to sample the product. But I always suggest, pick up 2 boxes, at least give it a full 30 days of one time every day. But you have to make sure you drink it. You can't drink one and then skip 2 days and then drink another one, or, oh my gosh, I forgot to drink it today, and you drink it. If you can get up in the morning, instead of making a coffee, or make your coffee and your ketones at the same time, drink your coffee on the way out. When you finish your coffee, drink your ketones, and you're done. That's it. And you'll be amazed on what you're going to feel when you're all done. I mean, it's like it changes your life. I mean, I do CrossFit. I change. I run. I mean, CrossFit, we have to run around the building. And shoot, I haven't ran in, I don't know how long, but it's amazing. And you guys saw my pictures, and it works.
I love it, Greg. I mean, you're super inspirational. And the thing I love about what you just shared is that, you did it on your own, and listen, more power to you. If you can do it on your own through diet, it's great, but you got to a plateau, you incorporated ketones in, and it made it so that you could then get past those plateaus and even push further. I love the simplicity of ketones. It doesn't matter who you are. Like if fat loss is a goal, listen, it's going to work for that. So you may be thinking to yourself, okay, well, so I want to drink ketones, that's great. Maybe you're going to drink ketones and you're not going to share them. You're just going to buy them yourself. Awesome. Some people are going to drink ketones and they're going to share them with a couple people, and they're going to get them for free. We have a free product program. Some people are going to do a little bit of both. They're going to drink them, share them, love them. And my next guest is a good friend of mine. You guys may know him. He's Scott D. Henry. Scott, if you want to come on, he's got a really powerful story about what ketones have not only done for him physically, but how he kind of incorporated it into the business. So we'll kind of shift from talking about what ketones can do for your body, and also talk about what they can do for your wallet at the end of the day, if you can just care enough about other people to want to share them. So Scott, I'd love to hear some of your story.
All right. You can hear me? Yeah? I was waiting for my intro music and you didn't play it for me, so I'm going to have to take care of that on my own.
Got to get you a walk-up song.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yeah, they stay there. They stay there. Oh yeah, I'm Scott D. Henry. I've got 1 or 2 followers on social media. I was on a TV show. I won this little belt. Yeah, I don't know. If you don't know me, that's fine too. There's a lot of people that don't. But before I was ever I hate saying famous. I'm not famous. Before I had a following, I was a construction worker for a long time, 20 plus years, did it for my whole life, worked out of town, was always away from my family, feeling gross, drinking 3 to 5 White Monsters a day, not happy, in a hotel room, gaining weight. My heartbeat was off the charts. My knees hurt. I did not like being away from my family. And so I decided to get on TikTok. And I even though I was in an unhappy place, I wanted to make others smile. And that's why I started doing TikToks and stuff. And then I mentioned to a coworker of mine, I was like, you know what? I got to get ahead of my health. I don't feel good. I'm going to do the keto diet. I'm going to start going hardcore again. Because I had done it the 5 years previous to that point. I had gone on the keto diet. I lost a bunch of weight. I felt great, but it sucked. It sucked to do it in a hotel room. I never had I didn't even have a stovetop or an oven ever. And I would always just go and buy a rotisserie chicken in the morning. And that's what I would nibble on throughout the day. I would eat a rotisserie chicken. It sucked. It sucked so bad. And my coworker was like, hey man, my wife's doing this thing where you put a packet of powder in water and it puts you into ketosis. I said, bull crap. that's an absolute lie, bull crap. But yeah, send me some and I'll prove you wrong. I was out to prove it wrong. That was my whole goal. I was like, I will prove this wrong. I know how hard getting into ketosis is. I'm going to prove this crap wrong. They sent me some. And when I finally got it on the first day I tried it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to eat a bunch of Taco Bell. I'm going to load up on carbs and garbage. My body will not go into ketosis. I won't let it happen. Put this stuff in the water, drank it. Half hour later, did the whole pee strip test. Body's into ketosis. And I was like, cool. So this stuff tricks your body to look like it's into ketosis. That was my next thought process. I was like, oh, it tricks you. And then 3 days later, I always tell this story. If you've been around me, if you've been on one of these Zooms where I've shared, I'm sorry. It's my story. I'm going to share it. 2 or 3 days later, I would always get up early to put fuel in my tank on the back of my truck so that I could fuel up all the equipment on the job site. And I remember very vividly sitting on the track of my PC 300 Komatsu excavator that we used every single day on the job site, and I'm fueling it up. And I remember thinking, why am I so like awake and alert right now? But before that day, my heart was beating off the charts because I was already on my second white monster. I was tired, but like jittery, and I felt gross. That morning, I was like, oh, is this ketones? Like, is that what this is? Is this what like the fuss is about? Because this is cool. I'm cool with this. And I felt focused and good. And guys, going on 2 years now of not having an energy drink. That's what it's done for me. And I get look at can you guys see? Chills. It's chills for myself. And that in itself was enough for me to be like, yeah, this is something that everyone needs to try. This is something that can benefit every single person. Whatever you're looking for, if it's to get off energy drinks, if it's to have better focus, energy, to help with your fat loss, to just have a better positive attitude, a better outlook on just to replace sugar, to have more fuel for you, anything that you guys want it to do for you, it's going to do it for you if you just give it that chance. Now, for me, again, I have a platform, and I have people sending me stuff all the time to sell. And if I really wanted to, 2-3 times a day, I could put something out on my social media and be a complete walking commercial and a salesperson. I could I'm looking around my office right now. There is stuff in here that people have sent me and like, just please sell this, like talk about it. No, I don't want to. I don't believe in it. But ketones, I believe in, and I will share it. And I signed up for the business side of it because I was like, you know what, if this will help people, and if it can do for others what it has done for me and my family and my health, then I'm going to share it with other people. My dad still drinks it. He likes the disgusting Swiss cacao flavor. Gross, Dad. Yeah, but I'll send you a bunch of it. I have a bunch of extras. Have all my Swiss cacao garbage flavored ketones. My dad drinks it. My sister drinks it. I'm trying to get everyone in my family drinking it because I love it and I'm so happy about it. So yeah, I got off energy drinks, but the biggest thing that the business side has done for me, I'll even talk about today. On a Wednesday, today's Wednesday, yeah. On a Wednesday, I was able to pick up my kids from school, take my daughter's soccer practice, be a dad. I'm here with them. We were just playing a game in my living room, bouncing a balloon back and forth. I get to be a dad with my family, and I'm not on the road anymore. That it's a business that's an actual amazing business that can be profitable. And it's because of a product that's absolutely amazing and beneficial for everyone. So I get to be a dad. I get to be home. The second I told my family, I was like, I didn't believe that the business would be anything either. But I told my wife, I said, the second that this surpasses my income as a superintendent, which I had put in 20 years of work in to get at, running multi-million-dollar jobs, the second that surpasses that income, I'm home and I'll never leave again. And I haven't. And I get to be home. And yeah, that's my, I could talk about it a lot more, but I'll cut myself short because I'm sure you're done. But thank you for letting me share. That's my little bit of my story. Thank you.
I love it. I can definitely hear the passion that you have in your voice. And the other thing I love is we get rewarded for helping people be better, right? I mean, we get to help people become the better versions of themselves. And the more people we help, we get rewarded directly proportional to that. You listen, in 5 years of doing this, I've never felt like I've tried to sell ketones to anybody. I'm just sharing our experience, sharing what they do inside of our bodies and what it can do for other people. And listen, if we can just get people curious enough to want to try them, the product does all the heavy lifting for us. I really appreciate you coming on, Scott, and sharing that. I have a couple people that I want to bring on to do a little bit of just some sharing about what ketones have done for their families running this business. So Victor Ramos, I know you are on. I saw you earlier. If you want to come off mute, you're actually right next to me on my screen too. This is awesome. What's up, Vic? Come on off mute and tell us a little bit about what ketones have done for you and your wife, Sarah. Not unmuted yet. Can we get Vic unmuted?
All right, how about now? Right on, right on. Yeah, so Sarah and I have been drinking ketones and sharing ketones for over 5 years now. And before drinking ketones or sharing ketones, I was in sales 70 hours a week. And it seems like you're just trading time for money. At that time, Sarah just left a teaching career and she was waiting tables, and somebody had handed her a business card talking about ketones. So she went all in and started drinking them. I noticed it in her first, and that was the beginning of my belief being built. So I'm watching her changing, and I started drinking them. I started taking them to work, and I slowly started to notice that my sales in my career started going up. My mood was better, and then other people started then asking me, "Hey, what's in that container you have that looks like mother's milk?" Because at the time back then it was orange dream and chocolate swirl. So, and then everybody started drinking them at my job, and things started going really good as far as like the business with Sarah. And a couple months later, people then started coming into the job and asking me for ketones. So then I knew it was time. By then, Sarah had already built the business enough where then I can step away from grinding 70 hours a week. Then I can actually do this with her. Because we really both believed in this product, and it was amazing what it was doing for her, and then what we were doing for other people. So, fast forward to what's going on now, and Prove It has given us a lot, not just financially, but also like time freedom, the opportunity to help a ton of people, but also start a family. Because back then it was like, two ships passing in the night. We felt like we didn't have time to start a family. So Prove It did give us the time freedom to have a family. And, now I actually get to be present for our baby girl, Indy, and be a father 24/7. So I actually came into fatherhood being able to spend every day with my baby girl. And that's what Prove It in this community and the business has done for us. And it's awesome.
What are you doing?
Not just the finances and the time, but also personal growth from the community has been awesome. And, I just want everybody to be able to have the opportunity that was given to us. So I'm just excited. I'm excited for the next person to join. I'm excited for the next product and what's next for Prove It. I'm ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victor. I mean, guys, he actually got to come home and work this full time with his wife. And I'm telling you, like, this can be whatever you imagine it could be, whether you just want to make a couple extra $100 for groceries or whether you want to do way more than that. Listen, as big as you can dream it, it's possible. And there's, believe me, like, everybody you've heard from tonight so far has had no special talent or skills. Nothing, no offense to anybody who's already spoken, but listen, if we can do it, anybody can do it, truthfully. I have another share, one more share. My good friend Carrie Wynn from Las Vegas is going to talk about what ketones have done for him personally and for the business.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to share with everyone, Britton. If we haven't had a chance to meet, my name is Carrie. I live here in, it's hot today. It's 75 degrees already. It feels like it's 95. But in sunny, warm, amazing Las Vegas, Nevada. And we do have winter if there's any questions about that. And before I go into the little story part, I just want to just address something Britton just said, that none of us had any special skills or talents or anything like that. And it's true, we didn't, except we were all looking for something better than where we were. And we haven't really been able to shut up about it ever since. That's what sets the people that can do this opportunity a little bit more, is because, like, I'm situated in what I know. You can't tell me that I didn't lose 80 pounds. You can't tell me after Greg was showing his pictures, I went and got my fat jeans out. Like these were my 46 waist that I started drinking ketones and what I wore. And these are $210 jeans because that's how I felt value, right? Buying expensive fat clothes. And now I'm wearing $50 size 32 that I just bought a couple days ago, right? So over the last 4.5 years, my body has completely recompositioned. It's been like this. It's been like the best kind of investment, right? With a long-term payoff, right? I didn't lose a whole bunch right in the beginning. It's been this tapering off effect and keeping it off. But aside from the fat loss, you know, being able to plug into this community, when you're surrounded by people that are genuinely interested in that you exist, and you couple that with the science behind what's in this for brain clarity, for mental clarity, for energy, for focus, for all of the wonderful things that come with feeding the neurological health of your noodle, it's a win-win situation. And over the last 4.5 years, we've just been able to write so many stories. I see Tanya, I see Steve Pipkin, I see so many stories, Miss Emily Chase, and stories that come from someone else's stories. Mark Brown right now, working out while we're on the Zoom, doubling down on his time. And to never have known them, to never know anybody on here. Well, my mom and dad are on here, and that's actually a huge part of my story as well. And just being able to take care of them at a higher level and to help take care of our family unit as a higher level, it just made sense. It just made sense. And so my encouragement to you, like Vic just said, like, I'm so excited for that next person to start. And if that's you, we're so excited for you to get started. When you take one of these, you rip it open, you drink it. Maybe you don't have an extra 400 pounds on your frame like Greg. That's okay. I have friends on here right now that don't need to lose an ounce, but they've actually gained fat. Like our buddy Nick Martinez, he's gained weight. He's gained mass from drinking ketones because that's what his body needed. My body needed something that it knew how to run off of. My body needed something to get situated and get fired up. And so whether you're going to write a story like this with big, fat, expensive clothes that say lucky you on the zipper, because they're hilarious jeans, or whatever it is, like there's space for you here. There's space for you here. And the opportunity has been fantastic. The community, the friends, I have a car paid for by Prove It sitting in front of my house. I see 7, 8, 9 faces with paid for by Prove It cars sitting right here, just because I was willing to not shut up, not stop talking about my personal experience. Because my story is my story. Your story is your story. No one can take that away from you. It is yours to offer to the world. And just how amazing it is that we get to be here and be able to share this all together at least once a week and do live. I can't wait to see so many of you in Texas coming up. So thank you for letting me share, Britton.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. Talk about things that you didn't know you needed when you started Prove It. I didn't know I needed the product. I'd never heard of it before, but it changed my life physically. I didn't know we needed the business, but the business has given us financial freedom to the point where we can do so much more than we could do before. I didn't know that I needed this community of people. You guys, this community of people is probably the biggest win of this entire thing. Ketones have changed my life physically. The business has changed our lives financially. But when I look at these spaces and I get to share what we do and we get to do this with each other, that to me is the win. Some of our closest friends we've come to in this community, and you're never going to find a group of more like-minded, positive, encouraging, uplifting, supportive, happy people than Provers. Like seriously, like we leave a footprint wherever we go. So if that's something that you think you could use a little bit more of in your life, then you've got to come join us. It's super easy. You can join as a promoter right now for $1. I don't know what other business that you could start that you could do it for $1 and get all of the value that comes with this. Whoever invited you to this call, listen, they loved you enough to want to get you this information. So reach back out to them, ask them, how do I get started? Just ask the question, be curious enough to want to make a change in your life, a change for the better. I mean, we could probably do like a 10-hour Zoom with just people telling stories of how ketones have impacted their life, either through the product, through the business, or through this community. It's seriously one of the best decisions that we've ever made. Listen, without ketones, I don't know where we would be right now. I had a family business that I ran for 25 years, lost it to COVID, had a bowling center that basically was shut down, could not open. We were closed for a year and a half. I was getting sued by my landlord and I had to basically get rid of it. If it wasn't for Prove It, we wouldn't be in our house right now. Would have this community has meant everything to me, and like the community probably means more to me than everybody. We do a call like this every Wednesday night, and we have in-person events, and we have, you know, just different gatherings that you can participate in. We have people that have been just dabbling for years that keep showing up because they love this community. I hope that you guys got a little bit of a sense of that, of just, you know, the excitement everybody has when we're sharing. And honestly, please reach out to the person that invited you guys. I told you we were going to be on for 30 minutes. It's been 36. So I really appreciate your guys' time. I don't think I really saw any questions in the comments, but if you have any questions, you can reach back out to the person who invited you. Everybody would love to support and share and help in any way that we can. I appreciate you, Asim, for sharing, Greg, Scott, Vic, and Carrie. Appreciate you guys so much. Listen, this is for everybody. Reach out to the men in your life. If you're a woman on here, listen, get your husband drinking ketones. Get your boyfriend drinking ketones. If you're a guy, get your wife drinking ketones. Get your kids drinking ketones. Get your parents drinking ketones. My 16-year-old drank Black Label for the first time today. Believe it or not, we've been drinking ketones for 5 years. He drank Black Label for the first time today, and he said he's never had a better workout in his life. I mean, and this is from a 16-year-old who, you know, listen, it's tough to get 16-year-olds to do anything new, okay? And they tell the truth. And so when he came home and said, oh my gosh, I felt like I could work out that much longer, I love it. So it's for everybody. We really appreciate you guys' time. Thank you guys for coming in, checking us out. Take care. Peace.